So I'm having a chat with Mia Kirkland. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Good. Pleasure is all mine. And we've been playing a new single of yours called I Just Called Your Ex. Tell us a bit about the single.
So I wrote this song, I think it was nearly a year ago now, or coming up to a year. And as soon as I wrote it, I loved it so much, and it's very close to my heart, and I didn't want anyone else having it. And it's basically about my boyfriend at the time. Um, just being a bit weird. And he always said his ex was crazy, but I kind of was getting the vibe he was lying. So I wrote a song about it. He's heard it as well. I actually went back that night and I played it to him. And he was like, wow, what inspired this? And I was like, don't know, don't
He knows
know.
now though, doesn't he?
Oh, I hope so. I really hope so.
He's not told you he knows then.
Well, I wouldn't say we ended things very well, so we both got each other blocked. So, but his mum still follows me,
Oh, that's all
so
right then.
let's hope that she sent it.
No, yeah, absolutely. And you've been releasing singles kind of sporadically over the last year or so. Are we now gearing up towards a bigger body of work, an EP maybe?
I hope so. Yeah, I've only just been releasing music in the past year, so it's all very new to me, but I have been working on a lot of music and a lot more is going to be coming out this year, which I'm very excited to share.
Good. Cannot wait. And even though you've only been releasing music for a year, you've been performing for a while now. Do you think you've now found your sound and your style, or is there plenty of things you still want to try to see if they work for you?
I'm really enjoying what I'm doing at the moment, and I naturally went into this sort of dance genre.
Hmm.
But I'm always questioning and like getting inspired by other artists, and like obviously the trends are always changing, so what might be popular now might not be popular in a year or whatever. And I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now, but I'm also writing a lot of different genres as
Hmm.
well.
Is there obviously you're in or you're kind of in this genre at the moment, but when you're writing other genres, do you have a preference of where you want to kind of be when you're writing?
I always aim to write very stripped back, like with just me and a piano. I think that works so much better as you can get the story across quickly without worrying about, oh, but will it match with the production and all this? So I'm very much a storyteller, and I think my best songs come when it's just me and a piano.
Nice. Nice. And I like to talk about the writing side of things. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Um, I've noticed that my best tracks always start when I focus on the chorus first. When I first started writing, I would focus on like doing it by each section, like verse one and then pre. But I've noticed recently that if I put all my energy into the chorus, which is obviously the main part of the
Hmm.
song, my songs do come out a lot stronger.
Nice. And when it comes to the lyrics as well, how easy do you find it to create the lyrics? Because I know for many artists, it's kind of the biggest challenge. What's it like for you?
I've always really been into writing, and like when I was at school, I loved English and like poetry. Um, and So I don't find it too difficult. The only thing that I struggle with is content. I try to, on the weekend, get as many like chaotic things done so I can write about it during the week. Because sometimes I go into sessions and I'm like, got no one I'm talking to right now. I haven't been heartbroken. What can I write about? And even then I wrote a song about that, about not having anything to write about. So
Inspiration from everywhere.
yeah,
Are you
I
one of
try.
the, yeah? Are you one of those who kind of jots them all down into like a little book or something?
I try to do the book thing where I write it down, but being a songwriter, my handwriting is terrible and I need it to be aesthetic. So I've actually got a note on my phone and it's like just weird random phrases or little ideas or like even big paragraphs of stuff. And then I go back and I look through that to help.
Is there a lyric that comes to mind that you think I really want to use that in a song at some point in the future?
Um, Not a particular lyric, but I've been trying to fit this concept in my head, and I don't even know how to fathom it out myself. But basically, with the ex, as I was moving out, we were packing all my stuff into a car, and just as we were doing the last box, it just started to rain. And as we were sat there, he was like, "Oh, look, we've just missed the rain." And I really want to put that in because it was the last time I ever saw him, and it was like, sort of felt like, oh, it's like a relief of something, but I
Hmm.
never know how to put it into a song or for it to make sense.
Well, if there's anyone listening or watching, get in touch. I'm sure they can suggest how you can make it fit. Now, people will want to see you doing some shows and doing some live stuff. What's your plan for this year?
Oh, I'm so nervous. I've never like performed my own stuff before, but I'm so excited as well. I've got a few festivals coming up which have been announced. And I'm hoping to just get myself out there more in the performance world because I'm very much online and like show people
Hmm.
stuff online, but they never get to meet me. A lot of people have met me busking and stuff, but it'll be cool to see like if anyone turns up for the festivals.
Do you think it would be easy for you to transform what you've done on the streets onto a stage?
I hope so. Growing up, I was very nervous and not a very confident person, and busking has definitely brought me out of my shell a lot because you have to talk to so many
Hmm.
people. So I think that has been like a great way to bring the confidence, but let's just see if we can get it on stage. I'm actually planning on getting a bit of I wouldn't say dance, but more like stage presence lessons before I get on the stage, just in case I don't know what I'm doing.
There's lots to plan, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'd like to find out because you are fairly new to this. I'd like to find out how and why you got into this in the first place.
Um, I've always been really into music, growing up. I just loved singing, and my biggest inspiration when I was younger was Adele. I remember there was like a talent contest when I was on holiday, and I just got up and I sang, and my parents didn't know that I could sing. Um, and so literally from that moment, I've always sang, but I wasn't very popular at school. So I used to write about it in journals, and then I used to go onto YouTube and find like type beats and then put that story over stuff, and like I would do poems and stuff. Um, and then I just realized that there was actually an avenue for that, and that because I would always grow up and be like, I want to be a singer. And I went to a very strict school, and they were like, yeah, but what about a realistic option?
Hmm.
Like, what about something that you can study that'd get you a job or stuff? And I'm like, oh. But then I realized that I can actually do it as a job, and I just needed to have faith in myself. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Story of my life as well. I'm exactly the same as that. And you must have some aspirations of things you want to achieve in the music world. What's one thing that was kind of at the top of that bucket list of things you want to achieve?
oh, um, there's so many things, but I would absolutely love to go on BBC One Live Lounge. You might know I was on a show like 3 years ago now, and they did it as one of the challenges, but I'd love to do it off my own back
Mhm.
and with the music that I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be too far around the corner for you. So,
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed indeed. Mia, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Oh, thank you so much.